and 7. And please note for number 4, Leota, he'll run with a bar shoe on, not an aluminum pad. Once again, number 4, Leota, runs with 1 bar shoe on. Main track is good. We're off the turf today. We'll come back at 11:50 to reprise the changes. First race post is at 12:20. Up next, Serling and Stabile, talking horses.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling, as we kick off another week of racing here at Aqueduct off the turf. We had a lot of rain overnight on Tuesday night into Wednesday. It's been sunny, it's been windy, it's a little cold, but turf courses can't take that much more abuse. Hopefully we'll be back on for tomorrow's card. However, we are listed as good. We imagine it'll be fast by post time. Probably doesn't really matter much. So we get to work?
Sure.
All right. Got the purple going on today?
I do.
Purple?
Got a
I do
little
not have
blue
purple.
happening.
I'm all blue today.
Yeah.
I'm all about blue today.
Blue Thursday?
Head on over to Naira Bets. I'm not blue.
I know.
I'm rarely blue.
But like Blue Monday, this is your Monday.
Well,
Yesterday was my Monday. I was here for America's Day for Races.
$200 deposit match bonus. We'll use promo code MATCH200. Go over to NairaBets.com. Sign up. Become a member of Naira Bets. Play through Naira Bets. Support racing in New York. What do we have, guys? We have the middle pick 4. Starts in race number 3 today of our 9-race card. We also have $15 bonus. You bet 75 on Ackland Churchill. Got to opt in. 75 or more. You get a $15 win, lose, or draw. We have probably the contest is next. Saturday contest, $300 buy-in, cash and seat prizes, and we're seeding with a $2,000. Seeding with $2,000. Did we not seed last week? Because we didn't use this slate last week.
I don't remember.
We didn't use the slate. Anyway.
That doesn't mean anything.
What's that? It's new for this week, along with the phony pick 6 carry. And last but not least, we are on America's Day at the Races, 12 to 6.
Pick six carryover $2 billion today.
Yeah, $2 billion
Starts on
pick
race
6 carryover, imaginary pick 6 carryover. Race number 1. I
All right,
don't.
now it's funny.
I don't think by post time. Yeah, it was always funny. I don't think by post time you'll be seeing 3 to 5 on this horse. We'll take a look at Signal from Noise, finishing second last time out, but ran second to a horse, Tizzy in the Sky. It was pretty good and came back with a big win, going 1 1/8 miles, albeit against an overmatched field. But overmatched because she's pretty good. This horse ran well. Chad Brown's barn. I mean, this horse is going to be. David made this horse 1 to 2. I don't think any of us will be surprised if she pays 260 in here. You want to bet against her? Go ahead. I'm not.
No. Next, who do we want to talk about next?
This horse really ran. I mean, 77 buyer, and lost by almost 6 lengths. I mean, she met
77 buyer in this field.
I suppose Wings Like Eagles may take some sucker money, a turf horse. The truth is, there's a little bit of dirt pedigree, but it's to get stormy, probably unlikely.
This is the old Oxley family, right? My darling and those horses?
My Darling Debbie, is that?
I think so.
Not sure about that. I'm not sure. I know there's a horse with a name like it, but I'm not sure it was actually Debbie Oxley. I think it was, but I don't know about that. Wouldn't it be bred by them? Look it up, but I don't know if that's the case. I don't think so. Second Dam was ran 50 buyers in the dirt, so I don't think it's. I know you're thinking of My Darling, those things, but it's not. I feel like the edge in that race is to pitch the 3. You have the horse second. Yeah, I don't see why anybody would want that horse. Adams Angel's the logical other horse. I did want to show a little bit of Divine Wine's 1 dirt race, and I can understand why Linda claimed this horse. This is a horse that's really probably a dirt horse.
Yeah. First race on turf was.
This is the dirt race. You
This
want
is
to
the
show?
dirt race.
You want to show the horse? She broke about 1.5 lengths, 2 lengths slow. I think it's important to note that. And you find her at the back of the field, those blue and yellow silks. And this horse, I know it wasn't a particularly strong field, to say the least. Though I'm not sure why Pat Reynolds scratched Lady Firefoot out of that off the turf race.
Weird,
today.
right?
Well, especially given she's probably not going to get back on the turf, and turf racing is going to be over in a week from Sunday. I'm not really sure why she would scratch out of that race. Because she didn't run it badly in here, frankly. This horse made some run. And I don't think she's likely to win this race, and I'm not even sure she's likely to be second in here. But this is a dirt horse. And this race was actually pretty good when you consider the break and what took place after that. I thought this horse a little bit interesting, but this is not an easy spot.
I think the other thing you got to be a little concerned with is this horse came back from a year-plus layoff and has broken slowly both times.
We'll see. Okay. That's race number 1. Race number 2, we are off the turf in race number 2. It's funny, Volus, who you have on top and I have third. The reality of Volus is there's nothing wrong with their dirt form, and actually she's far better off with this race coming off the turf.
For sure.
This is the race on July 9th. I will say about her a couple things. Her race on July 31st was a disgrace. The fact that it was an awful
wasn't a good
performance.
race.
She had a perfect trip and couldn't even get second over Photon.
It was one of the bets I actually hit in Saratoga.
Yeah, but you were right. You were right. I mean, you bet me the Photon. I took this horse over the other one. You were dead right because Photon did all the dirty work in there, and she's not much horse, and this horse couldn't get by her. So I'm not really thrilled with her in here, but you have her on top.
Yeah, I didn't know what really to do after the.
You never know where to go.
Off the turf race. Family Band, who you put on top, I thought about Family Band. It's a long layoff.
Okay. But why Volus? Because she's a little dressed up, isn't she? And she's probably going to be the favorite.
I mean, she's a little dressed up, but she's just run against so much better, hasn't she? Truancy and Sweet Mystery. I mean,
so what?
They've both gone on to be okay.
Sure, she ran buyers in the mid-60s. I mean, she's okay. She's the horse to beat in here. I don't have an issue with her. But I don't think she's that good. You don't think Spooky Lady? I know she couldn't win at short price for Bob Baffert, but now she's running against New York breds. She's never running against New York breds. Isn't she fairly logical here?
I don't know. Don't you feel like she's going to get overbet because you see her coming in for Rudy off of Baffert form and see her running against New York breds for the first time? I felt like she'd be the favorite when all was said and done.
She and the 4 will probably be the 2 favorites, and then the 2 horses to beat in here. I don't know how overbet she's going to be. What do you think she's going to be, 6 to 5? What price should she be in here? 3 to 1? 5 to 2? Isn't she just a perfectly logical horse? What do you like about Laughter, who has to basically hope that the 12 falls down for her to beat her?
I liked it. It's first-time actress on the dirt.
She didn't improve on the turf for Rob, really?
She didn't have the greatest trip last time.
She didn't have nearly as tough a trip as some others. So you're right. She didn't have a great trip. She was
didn't have a
shuffled out in
great
the
trip
backstretch.
last
That's
time.
fair.
That race was dominated on a busty. Windermere busted it open early. Yeah, I wanted some 4s and 7s. I mean, I get Family Band. I'm going to use Family Band on a backup pick 5 ticket. It's a long layoff. Took some money though.
I like Family Band in here. This horse ran in a super tough race last time. Speed was pretty good in there, though Sterling Silver made that big close. Those were legitimate race horses. She was up close. She took some money. I don't disagree. Is it a negative there on the turf? I'm not sure, because I'm not so sure that a lot of people entered in here, like Christophe with the 4, thinking there was a very, very reasonable chance this race would come off the turf. So I'm not quite convinced that that's the case. So I thought Family Band a little interesting, a little bit better price than the other horses, but I'm not loving
We
it.
do with Shinful.
Well, she has no chance. What do I do with her? I'd like to book her.
He finally. She may have been scratched once or twice off the turf, and now he led. But again, along the lines of
When she
not getting back on the turf, probably not getting back on the turf before
I mean,
the season's
the
over.
biggest shame in this race is it's not a turf race, so you could bet against Shinful. That's the unfortunate aspect of the race. But every dollar she takes in here is extra money in your pocket. Right now, it's the favored double, and this is
She's favored, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
I know that Awesome Bull. Who trained Awesome Bull?
Kieran?
No. Maybe he works in racing, but he's not a trainer, which is true of Kieran anymore. But which is true of Kieran, but it's not true. But he's not a jockey's agent. Yeah, this horse is not even good on the turf, and is going to have to improve in all likelihood the dirt to be effective here. I'd like to book Shinful with Irad Ortiz in every single pool in the entire race. It's a ridiculous horse. I get Rick taking the shot.
How do you feel about Shinful today?
You don't know who trained this horse?
No.
It had pink silks. William Badgett.
Wow.
Right? Didn't Billy Badgett train this horse?
Was this Billy?
I think Billy trained. I think this horse beat a Paracella horse in the 8th race in the winter when I was up in the OTB doing like a seminar at the Capital OTB, and we would hit the pick 6 if Paracella's favorite won. And as it turned out, because we could see the pools back then, it got hit with this horse winning. Paracella was an overwhelming favorite. We would have scooped the pool if Paracella had won. There was a carryover. It just was one of those things.
Was it really a carryover that day?
It was actually a carryover. But we had made a backup in the pick 4. We had the backup. Carlos Martin won the last race, and when we used Carlos's horse, the horse I liked the last race, there was a big price in Maltese, but got bombed on the board. You can look it up. It was a Sunday. It was a Sunday. It rained. It was a sloppy track. I want to say that there's a horse that won. I think it was a little better than the turf, but that won a sloppy track race at like 10-1. That was one of those, was it like Kathleen Farron, those Aikendale horses, won in that card. Has a funny name. You know the horse. I know you do. It was a Sunday.
The long name?
A wee something H. There's a funny name like that. Wayso or something. Did they have a horse? There was something Wayso.
Yeah.
Wayso or something like that. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I think that horse broke its maiden or won in that card. And I believe Awesome Bull won the feature and I'm almost sure it was a Badger horse. And I can remember like this sort of pinkish magenta silks. I could be wrong. We'll look it up. We'll look it up on Formulator. Somebody look it up on Formulator. Somebody who's listening, Acacia or somebody or Steve, look it up on Formulator. I think that horse was a Badger horse, at least at one point in its career. Where are we? Race number 3. Good scratch for you with that. It's key coming out. The problem with the scratch for you is it didn't help you. So what do you think of Dat Dares Gold?
I think that I did not want to make a pick in this race.
Okay, but you did.
I had to. Well, yeah, I had to.
Right,
I mean,
and you have the horse that's unbelievably likely to win this race, 3rd.
what?
Prairie Fire is literally 3-5 in here. And you have the horse 3rd with a co-favorite scratch.
Hang on a second. Well, now we're going to talk about. You see, I think Prairie Fire is the biggest sucker horse on the card today.
The horse is a virtual cinch, but that's fine.
A virtual cinch.
Yeah.
Let's go through the virtual cinch. Let's start in April with the 2-week layoff. And then comes back in 15 days. Okay, good.
That's
horse
fine.
doesn't run 2 steps in 15 days.
Anthony, every race that horse has is better than every other horse in this race.
Comes back.
Every race this horse has,
Your
it is
word-
PBs.
You want to endorse a 10-claimer.
Anthony, I think this horse is a cinch. That's fine. You don't like him. You don't like her. That's fine.
She had 2 months between starts, between June and August. She had 6 weeks between starts, between August and September, and she was eased.
Okay. What do you like about? Okay,
I wanted to.
But let's talk. But you made a pick, so you have to have some reasons.
I scratched into a pick.
Okay, that's fine. But you're the one for. What do we like about that? What do you think of Dat Dares Gold last race?
Recency,
What do you think of the horse's last race?
It's awful race. The horse is coming in facing inferior competition.
Where?
I got it everywhere. I got the whole thing.
Talk about his last race.
I don't need to talk about his last race. These horses are bottom. They're $10,000 claiming horses, and you want to pick a horse that's run 4 times in 5 months. That's going to be 3 to 5.
Where did this horse run last time?
Charlestown.
Okay.
Andy,
How long ago?
I'm not trying to defend my pick here. You're looking to get me to defend the pick that I didn't want to make. But you're giving out a horse that's going to be 3 to 5 that's run 4 times in 5 months off an east.
Right.
For 10.
But you have second the favorite, who's Irad Ortiz and Rudy Rodriguez, who is every single thing any self-respecting horse player is betting against. This horse cannot run on the dirt. This horse's dirt races. The horse to play against here is not Prairie Fire. The horse to play against here is Adelaide Miss.
You think Adelaide Miss is going to be favored over Prairie Fire?
100%. With Irad Ortiz and Rudy Rodriguez and 70 buyers? We could bet on this one, my friend.
If
We're at 120.
If they don't make, I'll bet you 2 lunches. If they don't make Prairie Fire's favorite here, I give up.
1 favorite over 4.
I give up.
Okay. Well, you're about to give up because there's no chance the one's not favored here.
I didn't even realize
and
that.
77 buyers showing. You didn't realize this horse to be favored.
I didn't even realize. No, I have the morning lights. Yeah, I didn't even realize it. I just assumed.
The most important question, the Billy Badgett question.
I
Awesome Bill was EER stable.
That's
finished
him.
with Badgett. Was finished
Silks.
with Badgett was originally Rick Violet.
Pink Silks.
Yeah, ELR, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, I couldn't possibly
Pink
disagree
Silks.
with you more in this race.
Wow,
I think that the 5 ran 5 days ago at Charlestown and did second, a bad second, has never really run any races particularly is supposed to beat Prairie Fire, and the one I think is a total bet against, and I think the one.
Listen,
will
I
be
don't
the
disagree with you
favorite.
with the Prairie Fire's old form, but I mean, you could poke. But look at all the holes that are in this thing.
What holes? The horse is running where it belongs and runs faster
And
than
2
these.
months, 6 weeks, now another 6 weeks.
Okay. Well, that's because they put times in the race. I don't know. Anyway, of course, won 2 starts ago off those kind of layouts and beat a better field. I mean, I'm not really sure where we're going with this conversation.
I thought that was
All right, we
the
disagree.
horse to bet against.
Race
today.
number 4.
But again, I thought she was the horse to get mentioned as the favorite.
Well-
You tell me she's not going to be the favorite.
Well, I don't know how anyone could possibly not think the one's going to be favored there with Irad Ortiz and Big Figs and Rudy Rodriguez. I just don't understand
This
how.
is turf.
Okay, that horse will be favored. Right. Do you see some of the horses that
That's
make
insane.
Irad favored on?
That's insane. Right, but I get some of those I don't get, but I get.
You
This
like-
one, you have a horse that has there's horses with dirt form. I mean, you could poke a lot of holes in it, but there's a horse with dirt form. Maybe you're right.
We disagree. Race number 4. Go ahead. This one, you didn't like anyone here either? Or did you like somebody here?
I mean, I don't know how this horse.
hard to
is-
know which if you
I
like
don't
the
know.
horses.
No, I let people know. I also let them know when I'm betting on them. I wouldn't bet that. The third race I'm playing in the pick 5 because it's part of the pick 5. Otherwise, I went and start the
Right, but
middle
you
pick
still
4.
put horses on top, and you have to have a reason
Yeah,
why you
yeah,
put a horse
I
in the
understand
other.
that.
Okay.
I understand that. I really like that as key. The scratches hurt me.
Excellent scratch for you.
This horse's last race, and this horse has just been keeping better company than she's facing today. I know it's state breds, but the know-it-all Audrey and the Sweet Mystery,
Well, she's
and
the favorite.
she's just right. Well, and she should be. And I'm
I
not going
agree.
to try. I'm not going to try and get too. I'm not going to try and get too imaginative in here.
My problem is that, the 75 buyer last time is not a number that is at all predictive. Now, she can absolutely win this race off her prior figs, but they don't give her a particular advantage. And a lot of the money she's going to take is based on that last figure, just like Mia Be a Star took a lot of money off the figure she
Yeah.
ran.
Well, she ran
which-
2 figs. She
I
ran
know,
280s
but
though,
she's
you
still
know?
Mia Be a Star. And like Dancing Sophia we look at here, I don't particularly like her, but her last race wasn't terrible. I just think she beat a terrible, terrible field.
Terrible
We can
field.
show Dancing Sophia's last race if you guys want. And I'm not a fan of hers either. New York Banker's the horse to beat. I have no problem, but I'd rather take Spooky Road at a better price. Linda's running this horse back on short rest. She has decent numbers off short rest. She ran against better horses last time out. She ran about as well against Mia Be a Star as the favorite did, maybe even better, to be honest. I don't love her. Believe me, I'm not a huge fan of hers. I just thought she was
No, they're two
not
horses.
significantly worse than the 15 and would probably be a reasonably better price in here. I couldn't make a case for anybody else. I actually liked maybe later in this race on the dirt. I think she would have beaten these horses on the dirt. Their connections obviously disagreed, and they scratched her.
I was surprised she scratched.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I hope they all get back on the turf for a start, but, We're only running 3 days next week.
They had 8
and with stakes on the weekend, you wonder how many turf races there are going to be that she could be in.
They had 8 come out of here. They may be able to get the race to be brought back. I mean, 8 coming out of here is a lot.
No, I know, but they're going to really bring back this race. They're not bringing back Sunday. So all you've got is 3 days next week.
Right.
3 days.
Yeah, it's a starter. They might bring it back.
But there's 4 turf races in there, and they're expecting rain on Friday night. So we could end up moving Saturday stakes to Sunday, so we'll only run stake races on Sunday.
Next week, you're talking about.
Yeah, and maybe they get lucky with a few on Friday, but I mean, I'd rather probably get into an off-the-turf race than a scheduled dirt race. Not that probably if you got in this field, a scheduled dirt race, the horses like the 14, 50, and 60 would be in there.
Right.
I don't know, but I just look at horses like Lady Firefoot, and I think, and maybe later, I thought they would have made a lot of sense in here.
Yep, Lady Fire. I would have.
I thought Lady Firefoot was not impossible in this race.
I would have used Lady Firefoot. Yeah.
I mean, don't love her, but
At a decent enough price, and yeah, I agree.
Is you betting into the $2 billion carryover in this race?
Yeah, I'm gonna use 4 horses.
Is it the Fantastic Oracle $2 billion pick 5 carryover?
I put Mitch third in case you want to make fun of me.
You know what?
I'm Buzzy.
We split in our bet. You beat me with one of my horses, and then I beat you with the other one.
When, Sunday?
One of my favorite moronic narratives by people who don't bet on Twitter
Moronic
is
narratives.
that we raise the takeout when we have a pick 6 carryover. You know that it's fundamentally dishonest to say that. Do you know why? Do you know why?
I don't know.
Because
why
pick
you
six,
get yourself
because the pick
aggravated with
six
these
it doesn't
people?
aggravate me. I love it. It's hilarious. The pick 6 takeout was 24%. We lowered it for non-carryover days. We lowered it. So in reality, we never raised it. We lowered it.
Right.
And it's sort of lost. And you want to say that it's a subtle exchange? No. It's a factual situation.
It's truth.
We lowered it in non-carryover days, which, by the way,
Is today.
probably about 80% of our cars.
Easily.
Right. So
How many times we were talking about how weird it was to have a carryover? We
Yeah.
haven't had carryover.
Right.
It
Well,
just
it
hasn't
depends who you
happened.
ask. It's just a funny concept. And the funny thing is, this will be put up by one of these trolls on Twitter because they pretend to hate me, but they're so in love that they literally. My mother has never listened to me as much as the trolls that pretend to hate you listen to, right? I mean, it's sort of an amazing.
I have bigger
thing.
things. I tune them out.
I enjoy it.
I know you do.
Race number 5.
You're a sick
so
guy.
what do you do with it's all relevant? You know, we'll show the last race.
Even I jumped off today.
Yeah, that means he's probably a cinch. Or it's all relevant. He lost his biggest fan.
He lost 340 pounds today. He'll gallop today.
I have no idea how Runabout beat him last time, but if he beats him today, I give up the game. I'll be shocked. You picked him on top. I don't think he has a prayer. The thing that's important to note here is the rail was not the place to be this day. Now, he was not on the rail. He's never ran the rail. He was off it. But he was close enough that I don't want to be too hard on him. But I think if you're trying to beat him, you're not supposed to beat a horse who sort of picked up the pieces. You're supposed to take the horse that chased him last time in Warrior in Chief.
But don't you think he's going to do it again?
So what? I still think he ran the better race. He beat him last time and chasing him. And I don't think Runabout. Why do you think Runabout off the claim by Amir Shishakli is going to suddenly? I mean, you're the one who.
The horse won 3 of his last 4 races.
For
and
Jeffrey Englehart.
I got
For
that.
Jeffrey Englehart.
I don't listen. I got.
Remember the winner he had here last year?
I do.
Starting to happen again, right?
I mean, I got.
This is not. Let me tell you something. This one. If somebody said to me, Anthony's going to pick Runabout, I said, how much can I bet you that Anthony's going to pick Runabout?
Here's
the thing.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you. Here's the thing. I'm going to find out. This is almost like playing the game of Clue, like when you were a kid.
You're going to lose at a bigger price than you think you should.
Number one, I'm going to get a bigger price than I should. Number two, maybe he's going to give me some information about the Englehart.
You're not getting. Okay. You don't need to lose your money to get that info about Englehart.
I see this race unfolding the same way it did last time. And if it does, I got to think this horse has a chance.
I think it's close to a 2-horse race. I have a small inkling that you want to use Double Shot, though he doesn't feel to me like a horse you wanted a mile, but I have a thing for him.
You don't have Runabout anywhere?
He has no chance.
Can I have a lunch 3 versus 5?
Sure. Why not? I'm feeling benevolent. 5 over 3, 1 lunch. I'll be up 122 when we come to this race.
You might be.
That's correct.
The more I keep thinking, I mean, but that would just be.
You want out?
No, I don't want out.
Okay, you could reduce it to 1 if you want.
I'll take the reduction. I'll take the reduction. I will take the
With
reduction.
that, you know,
the more I think about it,
we're
the more I'm
friends
saying to
here.
myself,
We
maybe
don't-
you're right.
Yeah.
It's psychotic, but maybe you're right.
Okay, so we'll bet one lunch.
All right.
Okay. No, I don't want. You're my mark, so I don't want to seem to be unfair.
Take a hike, Andy.
We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
We are back, Anthony and Andy. Race 6, we are off the turf. This is a fun turf race. I feel bad about losing
Me
this
too.
one, more than any of the others. What did you do here on the Doit?
I went to the same horse I picked on the turf.
Well, we will
The
show her
12,
dirt race.
Madrelena.
Madrelena. We'll show her race 2 back. How about it?
This was the first time from her native Argentina, and she
Yes.
showed a lot of speed. She was flying on the front end. This muddy seal, don't see that too often, but I mean, this was just a miserable day down at the Pea Patch.
Which is worse, the weather or the video coverage of a race?
This is just stunning. I
It
mean,
might be a few days where
at
the
some
weather's
point-
only slightly better than the
At
coverage of the
some
race.
point, you have to think that they just got to get a robotic camera in there. I mean, this is absurd.
Why don't they just show the races the way everybody else does and actually show a
Come on,
pan shot
man,
of
that
the
would be
race?
way too easy. Hey, listen, this horse ran first time. This horse ran, I thought ran really well.
I agree,
first
but
time
there's a
out.
problem, Anthony.
And then Copelia came back, has turned into a nice filly.
She has.
She's turned into a really
Boy,
nice
they
filly.
know last weekend.
How good was she the other day? She just sat there and just galloped. That was a
But
good
aren't
effort,
you
though.
worried with horses like Train to Artemis?
Yes.
And others in here that glitter up that there's going to be plenty of pace in
Yeah,
this
but
race?
you know what? I know she was on top of a hot pace, but she showed an ability to sit off last time and still run well. I know it was on the turf, but I'm hoping Javier from the outside, from an outside draw, not the outside, because you got the also
I picked her
eligible
second.
draws.
I'm not against her.
I think she's really live, and I think that was a good. I think it was a good effort first time out.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think, and
I
the
agree.
fact that she was able to rate a little bit last time gives me the confidence that
No,
Javier
I
going
think
to
she's
do it
probably
again.
the horse to beat in here. I don't disagree with you. I picked her second. I just wanted to go for a kind of a goofy idea. I was going to pick a 12-7. I thought, if I go with the 7 second, why don't I pick her on top? The thing about Tweaked is I know she improved in the turf, but she had run okay enough, and I want to give this horse a chance in the dirt for Ray Handel. I just feel like this horse deserves a chance.
First
in the
time dirt for Ray, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like horse gets one chance for me. I don't love her in here, but I do think there's going to be a hot enough pace that can help her. And I don't like a lot of horses in here. Certainly Gallon Rush can win, but her last race was abysmal. She's supposed to have been second in that race. She really did not run well in there. Now, granted, her prior
put
dirt race
her third like
in the
you.
slot, well, her higher dirt race is going to make her very, very tough in here. And she's a logical horse.
She
But
don't win, and
her-
she's never crossed the wire first.
Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
don't like that.
Yeah, she's
She is who she is.
and that was some ridiculous. Well, I understand why they took down Haughty, but it wasn't. Haughty was so much the best. And the others in here, I don't know. I don't want Train to Artemis. I know she's in great form,
I
but
may
she
have gotten
couldn't run
sucked
on
in
the
with Trent
dirt.
Thomas since the blinkers have come off. She's just been.
But she can't run on the dirt.
Well, she's never run on the dirt without the.
So
we'll
what?
see.
She
I'll give
improved,
her-
she improved
listen, I wanna-
remarkably from turf to dirt. Well, she did run a 70 once in the sloppy track, though. I don't like her, but that's fine. I wouldn't have liked her. She had no chance in the turf. I guess she has a little chance in the dirt. Listen, Fontana Freda's got a dirt race. It's not that bad. This
Yeah.
is the 8 horse. I mean, there's a lot of horses that can win this race. I've got the 11 in there, Glitter Up. What if she's the speed of the speed? She's run okay on the dirt
She's been
before.
okay.
You know, it's not like these horses are bad in the dirt. There's plenty of good ones in here. I'm going to hope that Tweaked is a horse that can improve for Ray and get it done. But
Be a good price.
I don't disagree with it at 12. 12 is in a lot of ways the horse to beat in here.
Yeah.
I don't have any argument with that. So race number 7, we'll take a look at Free Chicken's last race. And, I mean, she's not going to be 5-2. She's going to be closer to 6-5 in here, I think. She might be Free Chicken's. On paper, she's a
I
cinch.
couldn't get past her.
On paper, she's a cinch.
I couldn't do it. You picked the only horse that you could pick against her. It's a feast or famine kind of thing.
Well, I
wound
think
up
you're not
scratching
right.
into
I don't
fourth.
think you're supposed to take the horse that David is a second choice. It will be second choice, Ice Cold Gold, and we can go to her replay as soon as you guys are ready after this one. I mean, she ran fine last time.
Yeah.
I don't regret it. I picked her. I needed her. I singled her in a bunch of plays. I mean, she was sort of unlucky to lose to a horse that had never run a race that she ran to beat her.
Randy.
But having said that,
Randy.
she's supposed to win last time, and we'll
Supposed to
take a
win
look at
last time.
Ice Cold Gold. And the reality is
Pretty
that
easy lead.
Free Chickens off the claim is just supposed to win right
Yeah.
back.
Ice Cold Gold was kind of freewheeling on the lead. Wasn't being hounded at
show
all. And yeah, she just coughed up that lead late. Now she does cut back. She's coming back quick.
Well, Random
Late.
Randy beat her.
Yeah, Random Randy beat her.
Random Randy. That's Randy Prasad's new nickname, Random Randy.
Yeah, I mean, I
You want to show the Ice Cold Gold's replay, or did we lose it? Oh, we don't have it? Okay, that's fine.
I really didn't have a lot to say in here. I thought the Free Chickens came back.
Moam is the interesting alternative because Free Chicken's not that good. And the thing about Moam is, I get it. She might just not be able to run anymore. It does feel like her last race was a bit of a prep by Horacio. Throw her on the turf, take a shot, but get her ready for a dirt race. Obviously, her first race, she'd probably win this race. And the reality is, she's blown the brake in her races. Now, maybe Source can't get out of the gate anymore. But man, if ever you want to take a shot with a horse dropping down, she's found the right field. And if she has 4 legs, she can beat this field.
I didn't like her, but she's the only horse. It's weird. I scratched into her for
I don't have a
fourth.
problem with people saying I'm not betting her. She might not be able to run anymore.
I don't
I'm not-
like her, but I think she's the only horse you could take against Free Chicken.
me, she
because
is. To me.
She has a race that would beat the field.
Yep.
And that's it.
Race number 8. So race number 8.
Oh, I thought there was a chance we'd do the same thing in here.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Go ahead with Foolish Ghost.
I'm just hoping, first off the Linda claim. I know it's been a while now. She almost kept this horse away for 2 months.
Those
from
are not
Ruby.
my picks. My picks are 7, 4, 8, 3 here, guys. 7, 4, 8, 3. I believe I sent the new ones in last night. Now, it's okay, it didn't get sent. But my picks, we could fix them, are 7, 4, 8, 3. If we could fix those, please. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
He's faster than these horses.
He is.
There's a version of this horse that would be 3 in front of this field. I like how he's been training.
Thank you.
You know, you look at the two, and again, it's just paper, but you look at the 2 work tabs. He has been consistently faster in the mornings.
There's a problem with him. You have him on top, and you have the 4 fourth.
Yep.
The 4 ran about as much bet. I mean, the 4 beat him 8.5 lengths last time, chasing him. Why is he going to win this race, and the 4 you think is at best a fringe player?
Well, he's supposed to be the one putting the 4 on the chase again today.
Okay,
And I
but
think
the
it gives
4 beat him by
Foolish
8.5
I
lengths
got it, but I
last
think,
time.
but Foolish Ghost is a different horse when he's on the front.
Okay,
end.
we're going to have to completely disagree here. That you can't have the 3 on top and the 4 fourth.
But I just
Maybe
explained
you
to
could have a
I
3,
just
4.
explained to you why I have
Right,
it that
but
way.
I believe there's no chance you're correct. Zero, virtually zero.
That's what the beauty of the game is.
I understand, but I think it's incorrect
I need to
logic.
be right to be right both times here. I need to put him on the chase, but put him on the chase of Foolish Ghost because Foolish
They
Ghost
both
is chasing
chased
too.
last time, and Foolish
right.
Ghost gave it up.
What I'm saying to you is, I don't think Foolish Ghost is going to be chasing. I think he's going to be in front today. If he's not in front, you're 1,000% right.
Doesn't matter if he's in front. He's not being
I
the 4.
I think
Can we
it-
bet
I
a
think it
lunch here? Can we
matters.
bet a lunch here? I'll take the 4 over the 3.
Sure.
Okay.
It's a feast or famine here. He's going to get in front and keep going, or he's not going to. He can't do it. He can't
I
run
think
anymore.
it's very hard to take the 3 and not like the 4 at all. We disagree. I'm curious. We'll show Sheriff Bianco's last race. You don't have Sheriff Bianco in the top 4?
No.
Okay. Why?
It was a sloppy track race.
So what?
I don't like. I mean, he beat a bad bunch of horses.
But Anthony, he ran 91 Beyer and won by a dozen
I
lengths.
got it, but that
and he
was-
didn't beat a bad one. In fact, he beat a horse that you foolishly had 3rd on Sunday that galloped, Bold Journey. So he didn't actually beat a bad bunch of horses. In reality, Courageous Hula is actually in pretty good form. The problem with the argument that it was a sloppy track that woke up, and obviously it's possible that it's true, though I think it's inaccurate, is his first race. And you want to say, well, he ran a 59 Beyer that day. It was Churchill Downs 4.5 furlong race. The horse who beat him, Cowan,
Stakes horse.
was running 89 Beyers on the dirt, little later in his career. Pretty good horse for Steve
Well,
Asmussen.
as a 3 and 4 year old.
So what? It's a 3-year-old. Well, this is a 4-year-old now. And so maybe he's improved a lot. So maybe the 91 isn't some aberrant sloppy track race. I think that there is a distinct possibility that Wesley Ward got this horse completely wrong because he is so intent in general on going to turf sprints. And he took the horse to Ascot. I think it wasn't bad on the turf. It's not as though he ran badly. But don't you think there's a real possibility he just got this horse completely wrong?
Maybe. But I think he's going to be seriously overbet off of that race. I think he's 8-5, 7-5, 8-5
I
today.
don't think so, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people agree with you. I disagree with you.
You might be right.
I think the interesting horse in here is Advanced Strategy.
Absolutely.
It's not exactly a barn whose horses have been firing all cylinders, and I know Phil's your friend. I don't mean to be tough on him, but his horses have not been running great.
Had a
They're
good
running well.
Saratoga meet, quieted
Decent
down there a
Saratoga.
couple
He's
of
been
weeks.
early
Yeah,
in
couple
Saratoga.
months.
They've been quiet here. We'll take a look at his race back on January 23rd of 2021. Almost 2 years ago. We were so much more innocent then, weren't we? It was a
When
different
was
time.
this? 21?
Yeah, it was almost 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
wow.
Literally. I know, it's amazing. This horse was running against too early. Yankee Division. This horse is running real buyers. And I hear you on the 3 is the speed. I understand what you're saying. But do you really think it's impossible this race kind of falls apart?
This was as live as can be today.
I think this horse is
you
super
want to know?
interesting.
I'm going to tell you.
It's only one problem is he has Ira Ortiz.
Well.
So he's going to bury your price. But
Yep. He had a couple of sprint races that weren't terrible earlier in his
I think
career.
he's super logical.
Yeah. So I think he makes sense. Oh, but listen, by no means am I leaning on
My
foolish
friend
shows
Chip is checking in. He's going to be very, very angry when he sees how well I did on Quirtle yesterday. He thinks he did well with a 20.
On what?
My friend and I who compare Quirtle scores. I crushed in Quirtle last night.
I don't know what
You
Quirtle is.
don't play the word games?
I play Wordle.
Quirtle. Usually Quirtle's 4. It's 4, and you have a total of 9 to get all 4. It's 4 Wordles.
Oh, cool. What's the call?
Quirtle. Quordle.
All right.
Yeah, just try Quirtle and stuff. It's
I
fun.
will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm usually a 1201 guy too with my Wordle. I got into 2 today.
You got in 2?
I took a swing.
Wow.
Yeah, I got into 2 today.
I got in 4. Seth got in 5.
I
You got in 2.
today.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Well, you're smarter than you look. Race number 9.
I look debonair,
What'd you
man.
do in race 9? You look debonair.
I don't know what I did. I look regal today. I'm in my purple.
You ever think that
Well, it's
Anthony,
cold anyway.
that there's a cartoon version of Anthony that he sees that's completely different than the run the rest of us see? That's what I think.
I am a
What'd you
cartoon.
do in here?
I went to Central Love.
Okay.
I thought this horse improved last time, big time. Didn't have the cleanest start. Now a pair of blinkers. Back to Dylan. I don't see a ton of speed in this race, especially after the scratches. I'm hoping the blinkers get this horse a little sharp, and Dylan just pops off and goes with him today.
It's a very logical horse. I have no problem with this. The problem I have with this horse is, I think there's a chance that people are going to think that Starquist race is better than it is, because the winner came back and ran 3rd in Sleepy Hollow. The second horse with a perfect suck-up trip, I think ran, what do you give me, about 4 or 5 lengths by that Chad Brown horse? Probably ran low to mid-60s. So a similar figure next time. I get it. This horse can obviously win. I didn't want to take a shortest price. You know, unfortunately, I get into a horse that has IRAD on him, so I'm getting my price buried. What I don't want are the horses that we've seen run in some of the MCRR race, even though MCRR has run well in those races. And I'm not surprised the 1 scratch to get the 1A into here. But as far as
He didn't have to, though. He had 3 other scratches.
I sent change picks last night, and you guys didn't seem to get them. My picks in here are 6, 10, 9, 3. If we could change that, 6, 10, 9, 3, please. So I don't have IRAD on top, and that's why I changed it, because I figured you'd get a bet with IRAD. 6, 10, 9, 3.
Playing with matches. It's an interesting name.
Well, this horse ran. This horse came in at the start and bumped pretty substantially, and you know, I thought actually that was a killer field this horse was in first time out.
It was. Don't
This
lose
horse
Cruz.
is taking
Don't
a
lose Cruz coming back.
significant drop here.
Don't lose Cruz coming back on the Notebook on Sunday.
Well, he should.
Of course he
He's a
should.
very good horse.
Naturally.
I thought he was interesting on the drop down, but I think the horse to beat personally. I don't have a problem with the 9. The 9's some ways the horse to beat. I think the 10 went well in here. The horses I don't like are the Macars, those type of horses. I don't know.
Not for nothing. Don't you feel like this was a little bit of a quick drop for West Star with his
Yes,
pedigree?
100%. Could not possibly agree more. I just want to show the beginning of the race.
And there was a little. I know he was 23-1, but there was a little like, hey, this horse has some ability. We don't like the rail today on this horse.
No, he's the one, and you see how he sort of eases back here. But you watch the head on, and you can see what happened for him to ease back. And he really didn't run that badly, considering how far out of it. But I agree with you, Anthony. You see
This
how
is
they're coming over and they're forcing him over?
There's a quick hook.
They paid $220,000 for this horse. I totally agree, and that's why I didn't put him on top. Had some trouble, but he also
Roman mare.
didn't get bet first time out. It's almost like they're saying,
I told you
he
the
might win here, but we don't like much
The
of him.
story I got was the horse can run a little bit. They did not like the rail draw. They did not like the rail draw. Now you get the outside draw, you get Irad, which is going to kill the price. Listen, I put him second. I'm with you. But the fact that this is a quick hook, this is a second inning pull here.
I agree.
This is not good.
No, I agree. I agree. This is a dumb job. On the other hand, people really, well, this horse has pedigree. I mean, the truth is, $220,000 for that pedigree wasn't even that much.
And that's the other part of it. You know, you almost, with that pedigree, you almost have to run him special weight first time out. But they did, again, the barn liked the horse a little bit. I don't know. I didn't know what to do with him. And he's going to take a ton of money now because he's a drop. I mean, after the scratches, he's the second choice behind McCarr. I mean, if this horse has to be favored over McCarr from McCarr's turf races, and he getting a rad, I don't know either.
I know one thing. If the 1 and the 3rd isn't favored, this won't be favored. I hear you. He's going to be short. And, you know, I'm not, because McCarr is the favorite? Really?
He's the 5-2, well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Only running the turf? You can have him.
And before the scratches, he was the favorite. Joyful Ghost was 5-1, the 2 horse who came out. And
you can have McCarr.
The
McCarr wins.
entry
I got him
6-1.
fourth by scratching into him. I don't like him. I'm going to use 6, 9s, and 10s in this race. I'd be very happy to get live.
you talked me into a little 6. I'll use a little 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a throw-in horse. He had some trouble. He met a good field. He's dropping down. And the 9's probably the horse to beat.
Him and the 10 are the same horse. One horse is going to be 3-1, one horse is going to be 12-1.
You make a great point.
I'll use them.
And
I've hit plenty of pick 4s and pick 5s with Andy Sterling throw-ins in the last race. Plenty of them.
there you have it. All
I hit
right.
one day for like 2. I can't remember who the horse was.
My last winner.
Manny rode the horse. Gave the horse a great ride, too. I was not using this
I've been
horse
at
for a
non-winners
dime.
of one lifetime. They ran a 101 buyer on Saturday that lost. That's another one of my favorite narratives, by the way, on Twitter. Did you see this moronic narrative? Irad let Jose win the 7th race. What I find particularly amusing about it is these are the same.
what day was this?
These are the same people that are ranting on, with Begoin. Roosevelt ran a 102 buyer, and Begoin ran a 101 buyer.
Roosevelt ran
And
a 102?
Irad is so good at letting other riders win that he was able to get the horse to run exactly a 101 buyer, so it wouldn't be good enough to run a 103. And these are the same guys that cry, and sometimes rightfully so, that Irad will do anything to win a race, right? And then they turn
Irad
around
will
and
do
say
anything
he's
to win a
letting
race.
his brother win races. That'll happen.
He probably wants to beat him more than anybody else on the racetrack. Just so we can bother him when they go home.
I wouldn't be so sure if they were playing like chess and Jose was winning if Irad wouldn't tip the board.
Oh. How many Monopoly games do you think went flying in that house when they were growing up?
What I find, aside from impugning people's integrity, but that is part of the game we play. You're going to have jerks saying what they want to say, is, and I'm not suggesting I understand that there's times you look at things and you have questions, but that's not one of them. But all you do when you go down that grassy knoll and you spend your life in that grassy knoll is you do it at the expense of actually figuring out what may be going on in the most interesting and complex game in the world. And what makes this game fascinating is the number of things that you can learn, no matter how much you think you know and no matter how much you actually do know. There's so much to learn and so many different nuances. In a game of nuance, to spend all your time thinking that jockeys are letting their friends and family members win races, I mean, Dylan is Trevor McCarthy's brother-in-law, and he was taking him out into left field, a horse that could have come down. Now, around here, they don't take horses down for it. They allow horses to foul other horses and not come down. But these guys want to win
Regular
races.
basis.
It doesn't matter. They have these jobs. Do you think Irad Ortiz has got to where he is because he isn't wildly competitive? Give me a break. I mean, it's just so, it makes no sense logically. But you lose a race, and instead of saying, now listen, I loved Begoin, and I didn't like Rosa Veloce. I was right to love Begoin, but I was dead wrong about Rosa Veloce. It happens. It's the game. But to boil it down to somebody let the other guy win, it's just unfortunate, and it's wrong. We got to go. Head over to Naira Bets. And I know you agree with me, so.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, I know this thing. Match 200, we match for $200 of your deposit bonus. Use the promo code MATCH200. Good old Life is Good. I like that we're celebrating him. I thought he was the most valiant losing performer on the entire Breeders' Cup. Carl, you say that's fair?
He showed up, yeah.
He ran some race. Irad was saying, right? He was going fast, and he kept thinking maybe he had a chance, and there that guy was just like outside of him. Sort of, you know, there he was. Middle pick 4 starts in race 3. We got 3 every day here at the Big A. We have a $15 bonus. You bet 75 or more at Accurate. Got to opt in. We've shown those Churchill races. We got the contest, $300 buy-in. and $2,000 seated pool. And last but not least, 12 to 6, America's Day at the Races, which I have to go to now. We are done. We appreciate you watching. Johnny I, he'll keep things going with a reprise, the scratch and change. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Hello once again, racing fans, and welcome to Aqueduct. Mostly sunny skies right now with the temperature getting into the upper 40s. The main track is now